Good afternoon, everyone. I know there are a lot of people stuck inside these days, and also that spending time in nature is really important. So especially if you have friends out there that are stuck in the city centers and really can't get outside, I want to welcome you to share this video. I'm going to try and keep my talking to a minimum, but as I find things that you might be interested in seeing, I'll try and point it out. Explain what I know. If you have questions, feel free to post them. I'm not going to answer them right now. I'll come back later and try to address those because my cell phone battery will be kind of limited. Bear with me. My internet connection isn't always that great out here, so there may be slight disconnects and things like that, but I really hope you guys will enjoy the video. I'm going to try to take you down our Bluestem Trail and then into our wetlands if my phone will hold up. It's spring here at the herd and things are starting to bloom and green up, so hopefully I can find some interesting things for you guys to enjoy. I hope this brings a little bit of joy to you guys as you're at home, and that everybody stays well. So let me turn this around. We will first off, I have this little guy here that I found blooming. I believe that may be crow's poison, but I'm gonna have to check that. Now you might wonder why we leave dead logs around, but as you can see, a lot of different things utilize them for food, whether it be bugs or even habitat. So you can see all activity that's gone on here. This is, I believe, golden groundsel. You'll see a lot of this blooming here this time of year. It's probably among one of the earliest things to bloom here, other than some of our trees and trout lilies. Just take a look around. As you can see, there's a lot of natural runoff. And just a reminder, if you do have any natural spaces around you, it's a great way to get out and still maintain that social distancing. Just be sure to follow the various protocols, and I can't give you that right now, but if you Google, there are a lot of ways to do so. A lot of your neighborhood parks and things like that. So this prairie, we actually worked on a reseeding project this fall, and it's still too early to see what is going to become of that, but we're really excited to see everything's starting to germinate. So anytime now we should kind of know how that worked out, and can definitely keep going with that as well. There's actually a family that's about to pass by. I'm going to give them some space, and then we'll keep going. Give them a bit of time to pass. And, oh, hi Lisa Marie. I hope you're enjoying it in Ohio. Oh, there goes a great blue heron. Can you see him? I don't know if it'll let me zoom in. Nope. But hopefully you can see him heading back out to our wetlands, which is where I'm headed too. So as you can see, various things are budding out on the trees. Try to give you a little closer look. As you can see, we keep our trails very natural, and we've gotten a lot of rain. So if you do come out, be sure to wear some standard hiking shoes. Nothing you wouldn't mind getting a little muddy, but so far I'm doing pretty good. And the reason we do that is because we are a nature preserve, and we want to keep things as close to natural as we can while also making them available to people. I'm not sure which holly species this is. Maybe somebody in the audience can identify, but some ilex species. So, and these sorts of things are great in your natural landscape too, because I mean, look at the beautiful colors that it's giving even at this time of year when everything is still a little bit not quite as alive as it is sometimes. So something to keep in mind. All right, we're gonna keep going. Now this hill right here, right now, is a little bit on the dormant side, but you will notice that there are a few things that are starting, oops, lost my balance, starting to bloom, like this anemone. It's probably a little bit hard to see on this camera, right there in the center. And pretty soon, there'll be a lot of native coneflowers on this hill. Just wait for it. Oh yeah, I'm sure things are a little bit warmer up there, Lisa Marie. I mean, a little cooler, sorry. I don't think we've even gotten any snow here this year. It'll be interesting with the mosquitoes. Now you might be able to see this largely dead tree. A lot of people, you know, think that this is a detriment to landscape, but scientists know this as snag. If you look very closely, you can even see where various birds have made holes into the tree for nesting and things like that. So snags are an important resource. As you can see, there's also a bat box on that tree. Over here I'm going to show you a couple more great blue herons. And there's also a couple of vultures gliding over. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in, so hopefully you might be able to do so on your computer at home. I'm not sure which vulture species that is. We do get black and turkey vultures, and I always have to think about how to identify which, plus it's kind of far away without binoculars. So I'm gonna take you guys into the forest. As you can see, it appears somebody has picked some of the flowers. I really do ask that if you can leave things where they are, we really appreciate that, because what a lot of people don't realize is that those flowers turn into seeds, which then turns into natural bird food. So also it just enables future populations of that plant to reseed itself too. So please keep that in mind. I know they're beautiful, but we really appreciate you leaving them where they are. So as you can see here, something else has been working on this log. There's all kinds of insect activity, and obviously somebody's been tearing at it. So I'm not sure what animal did that, but there's clearly been some work here. And then a little spider web back there. Look at it catching all the humidity. Okay. And then we've got this very large oak tree. Sorry, not oak. I believe it's a pecan tree. If it's not pecan, it's walnut, but I'm pretty sure it's pecan. As you can tell by the base, it's a couple years old. It's hard to tell probably proportions in the video, but you know, it's fairly large. You can see some of the smaller trees around it for a little bit of perspective. I'm always fascinated by the plants that manage to grow up in the trees and just utilizing every bit of space. You can see that plant up in the stump, and also a bit of a shelf fungus there as well. Oh, and here is the little tiny guys, our Missouri violets. Can you see? And that's another one of the early bloomers. I have been told that they actually flower underground as well, though I can't really tell you much detail, but feel free to Google that. Yeah. More. And we have some sort of animal hole here. You can just see it right off the trail. I'm guessing maybe armadillo, but I'm definitely not an authority. From here you can also see our SRC building. We do a lot of educational programs and meetings and things like that. Stop for a moment to look out over the wetlands. I don't know if you can see, but there are a few waterfowl out there and just a plethora of birds singing. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. We're going to continue down the trail, the Blue Stem Trail, to get out to the wetlands. Hopefully my battery is holding up. It doesn't let me see. As you can see here, there's a bit of runoff that's always present in through here. And the interesting thing is that if you stop and look, sometimes you'll see crawdads and things like that. So always be sure to take a few extra moments to look down. There's some interesting shelf fungus on this tree. And you can see the water running out towards the wetlands. Some more interesting fungus. Oh, what's the matter? What's the cryy face for? Why are we crying? I'm seeing crying emojis come and I don't know what it's about. Is it about the fungus? It's a natural part. Ooh, now I'm getting an angry face. What? LLB. I don't know what this means. I hope so, Debbie, but I just want to make sure that I wasn't upsetting people. There's enough going on. But I hope you guys are enjoying this. Try not to talk too much because nature is so much more interesting than me. Okay, I'm going to keep going because I really want you guys to be able to have a quick visit with the wetlands. I just love to look down into the water and see what's going on. Something else I want to point out right now, it's a little bit wet and recently rained, so it's kind of hard to see, but something I always enjoy is to look down in the mud, and even sometimes on the boardwalk if they've climbed up from the mud, but sometimes you'll actually see the animal tracks, and in lieu of being able to see the animals, it's really interesting to be able to tell what's been coming through here, even though you can't actually see the animal. So I always like to stop and look and see what tracks there might be. We'll keep going. And as you can see out on this prairie, we do have a few nest boxes. I am not actually sure if any of those are occupied yet, but they are very active, those white boxes. Typically what I see coming out of them is bluebirds, but every so often you'll see other things utilize them as well. Okay, I'm going to pause for just a second and jump back on with you guys.